Ethan, we can check tires and gear these all up.
If you take the butterfly off.
Well, this is the 1912 Premier 6-cylinder, 660 Roadster. Fabulous car. It's probably one of the best driving brass era cars that I've ever driven. It's 501 cubic inch 6-cylinder. T-head design, just a really great running engine. It's got a unique start system on it. It's got an air start system. It has an air compressor attached on the back side of the transmission. And you'd engage the air compressor and build it up to about 140 to 160 pounds. There's a valve in there that opens up to allow air to come to a push button starter. And when you push the button on the starter, air would come down into the center of this air distributor here, which is on the back of the camshaft, and then that would send it up to the top of the pistons through these check valves, these one-way check valves, to whichever cylinder's in the top position. And once it pushes that cylinder down, it rotates to the next cylinder and turns the engine over. We can probably see us do that by going around and see if we have enough air left to crank this over. Then have a little bit of fuel left in the cylinder. Now it's out. Mark now.
That's bad.
What? Okay, you need to turn to try to start backwards is what happened.
More?
A little more. Oh. Try it. Ready? Clear?
Clear. How it knows, well, it's run off the cam, so it knows what air to put the cylinder in.
Right.
But we also were able to start it backwards, which meant it wasn't timed
Right, but
exactly
that has
right.
nothing to do with that, because when it started backwards, we weren't using the starter. We were using strictly the ignition system.
Oh, really?
And we had started it, it has two positions and for start on the ignition, so you can do that without using the air.
Oh.
And one is advanced and one is retarded. And so what happens is if you go to the retarded position, what you're trying to do is get it to roll backwards and push that cylinder down till the other one comes up, and then it'll fire and go the other way.
I see.
But sometimes if it's high enough, has enough fuel, it'll fire backwards and it'll rotate across a couple of them before it quits.
Okay.
But normally it works in the advanced position, and it'll, if you retard it, it fires backwards and goes part of a revolution when the next piston comes up, and it'll fire in the position, and it'll take off and run in the right direction. And that's how that works.
You're sure?
Yes. Yeah. That it has nothing. When it does that, you're not using
Okay.
the air start system,
Okay, gotcha.
because the air start system, you can't advance or retard the air start system. It's geared directly to the camshaft.
Okay. So it's only going to put air in the cylinder when it's on its way down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why sometimes
rotation.
it can put it in if it's up anywhere close to top, but if it's not quite to top, it can push it backwards.
Okay.
And it can rotate it backwards, but it will only rotate far enough backwards to bring another one up, and then it should go the other way. But yeah,
Okay.
it's the same way. The right real close so it can rotate either way, and that's why most of the time it might roll back one and then it'll take off and go the right way. And sometimes if you have a piston that's down or it's piston that's dead center on top, you can't push it. It won't go either way. So you have to turn the crank one way or another.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to try to hand crank it?
You want me to?
No, I don't think so.